What about you? This is a fairly common question when starting a new business. What do I charge? Some of the things that you need to consider: if you're in paid employment or PAYE, legally you get 28 days holiday a year, pension, guaranteed wage and employment rights. With self-employment you don't get any of this. You might be a window cleaner, electrician, joiner, brickie, plumber, builder, painter and decorator, landscaper. All these different trades have their own costs. However, the tools used in this video can be applied to most trades regardless of what service you carry out. As you grow, you'll find your costs grow, but these are just some of the startup costs to give you an idea. Or maybe you're watching this video and thinking, I'm not charging enough, how can I charge more? This video will give you the tools to help you understand how much you need to charge and increase your prices without costing you any money. Before we get properly into this video, if I could ask you to hit that like button down below, just go ahead and smash it, as this helps me grow my channel. Now, let's get on with the video. This next question is something that only you can answer. How much do you have to earn to pay your bills? Your mortgage, your loans, household bills, food, go for a drink at the weekend, run a family car, live life, and probably just as important, savings and pension. These are only questions that you can answer. This is what you have to earn. Things to consider: how many days a year you can realistically work, taking into account wet days, holidays, days when your van's off the road, you're ill, or you have to price jobs, etc. Then think about how many hours a day you can actually charge. When you take into account loading, unloading the van, travelling between jobs, quoting, answering emails, booking work in, going to the bank to deposit checks, the list just gets endless. It can really eat into your day and the amount of time you can actually work. That brings us into our overhead costs. Overhead costs are things like the van, insurance, equipment, advertising costs, fuel, waste, mobile phones. Gardening is a fairly expensive trade and there are a lot of expensive tools required. Lawnmowers, blowers, hedge cutters, trailers, scarifiers, even waste. Some of the typical costs might be buying or leasing a van, buying and servicing tools, and just as importantly is having enough money there to replace those tools when they break. Fuel for the van, other costs like website hosting, mobile phones. Whenever you start adding it up, it can seem like an endless list. The average man with a van out working with low overheads as a basic figure, £10,000 a year. If you disagree with this, let me know in the comments below. Is this low or is this high for cost for the year? Before we get on to how to charge more, I want to tell you about a bit of software that I use to run my own business. It's called GetJobber, or Jobber for short. It is easy for me to recommend as I've used it for years myself. It saves me countless man hours and manages everything in one place: estimate, quote, schedule, invoice, get paid, and best of all, it's very easy to use. It will save you a lot of unbillable hours and it easily pays for itself, plus it'll generate sales and clients love it. Jobber saves me a lot of time on unbillable hours, and that's time that I can spend earning more money. There is an affiliated link in the video description that'll get you a 14-day free trial and 20% off your first 6 months. Jobber aren't sponsoring this video, nor have they asked me to make it. However, if you use my link to try the software, it helps support this channel and makes videos like this possible. But back to our average man with a van, let's break this down a bit further. Let's say you work a 9-hour day. You work 7 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. with a 20-minute tea break and a 30-minute lunch break. Round the breaks up to an hour, and then after work you go and quote for jobs or invoice, and you do a couple of hours on a Saturday morning. At best, it's 7 billable hours a day and 2 hours where you can't invoice for your time, lunch breaks, tea breaks, quoting, talking to clients in the evening. They are all unbillable hours. If you budget for 7 billable hours a day, 5 days a week, that gives you 35 hours a week to earn. As a side note, profit is extra. Profit comes after everything that includes wages and overhead and everything else. There should be the cost to do the job plus profit. Some people think that profit's a dirty word, but it's actually not. That leads on to the hourly rate calculator. If you are PAYE or in paid employment, you get a minimum of 28 days holiday a year. That's what everyone else gets as standard. For the self-employed, let's round that up to 30 days or about 6 weeks, and 2 weeks for bad weather, another 2 weeks for breakdown, sickness, and not enough work or whatever else. Often it can be more than this. That's 43 weeks a year of billable hours, times 5 days a week, times 7 hours a day. That equals 1,005 billable hours a year. Let's say, for argument's sake, that you're charging between £20 to £25 an hour. To keep the maths simple, I'm going to work off £20 an hour. You're going to be bringing in 30,100 before you pay your expenses. But back to that average man with a van out working with low overheads, as a basic figure is around 10,000. Factoring in the costs of 10,000 basic costs, your 30,100 is now 20,100. This of course doesn't take into account all the time spent on unbillable hours. Let's say for argument's sake you work an additional 15 hours a week in between jobs, pricing for work, answering emails, booking work in, going to the bank, and that Saturday morning, and all the other fun stuff. Let's do the maths. 15 hours a week unpaid times 43 weeks a year equals an extra 645 unbillable hours over 1 year. Suddenly it sounds like a lot. And billable hours of 1,505. Add the two together and you get 2,150. 2,150 hours you've worked in total. Take your 20,100 and divide it by the total hours worked. This works out at around 9.34 per hour. It's really not that much for the toll and stress of running your own business. To put this into context, the national living wage or the minimum wage in the UK as of April 2022 is £9.50 per hour. That's the starting point for someone over the age of 23. Chances are they won't be qualified in what they do or have the years of experience that you have. They will also have other benefits such as a pension and a steady weekly income. This leads into hourly rate versus fixed rate. Charging an hourly rate for most things will hold you back and you'll be plagued with clock watchers and you won't be able to properly invest into your business. It takes a bit of trial and effort on the pricing front, but the basic problem with charging per hour, there's no incentive to invest in the best machinery or methods to improve your knowledge and efficiency. Lawn mowing is a really easy example of this. I can mow a lawn with a £400 lawnmower and charge £20 per hour, take 90 minutes to do it and charge the customer £30. Or I can go and buy a £1,500 commercial mower and do a much better job take less than 30 minutes and still charge the customer £30. Everyone is better off. If you've listened to this and you think that you're not charging enough and you're really worried that you can't put your prices up as you're going to lose customers, there's another better way to look at it. For example, you're charging £25 an hour and billing for 7 hours per day. This is bringing you in £175 a day, 5 days a week, equals £875 per week. If you raise your price to £30 and manage to keep your diary full, your turnover would be £1,050 for the week. But that's not really likely to happen, as you're going to lose some customers. Now, if you've lost a small number of customers and you're now doing 4 days a week instead of 5, now you're charging £30 for 7 billable hours a day. That's bringing you in £210. Times your 4 days equals £840. You're still making nearly the same amount of money what you made whenever you were charging £25 per hour. And you were working 5 days a week for that, but now you're only working 4 days a week and you're getting nearly the same money without being the busy fool. That gives you an extra day a week to generate more work. The best part is your new customers will be on a higher rate. This gives you more to keep investing into the business so you can provide an even better service. If you want to learn more about GetJobber, watch this video here.